myself.
We're gonna open this workshop meeting for the 2023 budget. Basically, the first page of your budget report, the budget report you have in your hand. Obviously, the tentative budget was a little high because it was wish list budget. The budget report you have in your hand is a more accurate budget that we can make changes to. The first page is your revenue base, which really hasn't changed year to year. Same figures are used for the most part. Is there any questions in regards to that? No. Okay. Page number 2 is your general fund A. There are some slight increases and decreases on here. Whereas the first section, town board PS 101 12.1, that would be an increase of town board salaries, slight increase for next year.
I'm not in favor of that.
Okay.
I just don't think people do it for the salary. So I'm not interested in increasing the salary that I get. If you guys want to go ahead and do it, that's okay with me, but I'm not voting for that. I'm not in favor of that.
Okay, I made a note of that. Let's.
And I would agree with that, but that's just my personal feeling. I'm not sure. You know, I'm in a position I really don't need it, and it's not gonna make a difference whether I stay or not. Right?
Yeah.
I do know that there are other members of the board who were interested, so we'll have to talk that out a little bit more.
Take a note, we'll discuss that more Thursday.
Yeah.
You go down to the other change was to the justice personal services. That hasn't increased. I'm gonna bring it up Thursday in regards to clerk salaries. We received a letter request from Judge Humiston. in
I'm fine with
regards to that. Next increase was supervisors line item, personal service for the increase of salaries towards the bookkeeper and secretary.
That's fine.
Next, small increase, $1,000 increase was to my CE account. Seems like the past couple of years that's been over. So that should bring that back into the black. Then the next increase would be down to town clerks, personal service, that would be increase in salary to Madeline.
But we noticed, you can note that in 21, it was
Yes,
the higher amount.
why did it
It was
go down?
decreased because we changed town clerks. A new town clerk took over and the salary was
So that's
lower
not-
to start.
I don't see that as an increase.
Correct.
Yeah.
Our engineering CE has increased obviously with projects we have coming up.
Yep.
So our increase in that. Buildings, salaries, that was a slight increase for pay increases. Unallocated insurance, that was a decrease because we saved all that money on changing companies and changing policy.
can I just jump back to
Absolutely,
building, personal services?
absolutely.
Is that just, Bob's salary? Or is there, I know
Denny's is as well,
Benny's is in there as well.
correct.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that's where
Yep.
we were taking it or not. Okay.
Our dues went up, obviously, because dues went up. Our next line increase would be the police department. Salaries. That was a hefty increase. That's a couple pay raises as well as there's that option for one additional guy if we were to decide that another guy needs to be hired. Their equipment and their contractual increased because the price of everything has increased. Any questions or anything? Any questions, Don?
No, I'm good.
On to the third page. Superintendent of Highways salary, there's a slight decrease on that because we'll be expecting a new highway super. Our next increase should be to veteran services, $1,000 increase to help them out a little bit more. The next increase is the rec beach director. It's Jen Blackburn. We only paid her $2,000 this year, and she took on a lot more work than what that $2,000 covers. So she got a $2,500 increase. Summer camp director spot here. Yep. That decreased $1,000. That brings her up to actually what she was paid because originally they were splitting that position, and then it went down to one person because they were short on staff. The next increase with beach salaries got brought closer to what they had in 2021, so we can keep the beach up and running on the weekends. Celebrations, obviously with bicentennial coming up, that got increased. Adult recreation went down because they never, that line item never gets used completely up. Next increase would be the beautification committee got an increase. Once again, the cost of everything is going up. So for supplies and so that they can accomplish more things, that has increased. The next three increases are just governmental increases, state retirement, police fire retirement, and social security. Common increases, there's nothing we can really do about that. Unemployment insurance increases, there's not much we can do about that. That was minimal. Medical insurance increase. Any questions on that page? Obviously, there's nothing we can do about our interest and our principal in the two pieces of property, 812 North Main Street. The numbers are what they are.
You tell me what's on the community center.
What's
Where
owed?
are we on, where are we paying the community center off?
You mean the library?
Community center, I don't call it like.
Well, the payment is to the library, but
No, the payment, it's our bond that we have to purchase it.
okay,
Right.
okay.
No, the library is.
It's separate.
I'll have to get you that exact figure down.
Well, I wasn't sure, because we've got 3 bonds that we're showing that we're paying principal on.
Okay, that's
So
what, yeah.
with 8 North Main, we're not, 12 North Main, we are. And the 15,533, I was wondering if that is,
The library.
That's the library,
that's community.
Community center.
community center. I'm sorry.
There we go.
That is the community center.
Okay, perfect.
I wonder how far out does that go?
30 years, 30, 40 years, I think it is. I just looked at the other day. I forget what the number was. It's out there.
It's out there.
It's
yeah.
out there. So back to your question, the $15,533.24 is towards the principal of that building?
Hmm.
Okay. No, on the
Oh.
next page, go to the next page back. Go back
Right.
one page.
That was on the principal, yes.
Correct, that's
Principal.
on the principal, and then
And
the,
then 17.
interest is the 17, yes.
Right.
Okay, there we go.
All right.
So
now-
that's a big number.
That's
Yeah.
a huge
It's a
number.
big number. Okay.
Highway fund. Increase in general repairs salaries. So, taking into account raises. We went down a little bit under general repairs because we were saving a good amount of money there. We increased on permanent improvements, EQs. Minimal. Brush and weeds, personal salaries went up slightly. Snow removal salaries went up slightly. Social Security, obviously, that's given insurance, medical insurance, and their debt on their bond. Everything remained the same under lighting district, all that has remained the same. Down to the water fund.
Could I just ask a question? on the
Absolutely.
lighting? A while ago, we upgraded everything to LEDs and we were going to see a huge savings. Are we?
I don't see it, but I haven't looked at previous numbers. I can pull previous numbers.
Okay, that's a curiosity. I mean, we spent money to supposedly save it over the next couple of
The
years.
electric bills haven't been cheap.
No, and
They're not going to be.
predictable or. it's-
Do you remember the exact date when, or around year that you actually made that changeover? 'Cause I can't remember. Years, 4 years ago? 3 years ago?
But 3 years ago, at least 3 years ago.
Let's see if I can find mine. But I was just
We
trying
can,
to
we can
compare,
pull them back up.
compare it, and see if it's just an increase in, the cost of electricity or are we actually seeing
Yep.
money?
That's not a problem.
But this also includes our town lights, right?
Correct.
Yeah, right, our low pedestrian. lights.
That's what these are, street lighting.
That's what, okay.
Yes.
So we would see in the general, the lighting district, no, it should include all the streetlights.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what I
okay,
mean,
not
yes.
just the ones that we own.
No.
Yeah.
No. Anything else? Down to the water. Meter sales are increased. This is all minimal. We decrease in the purification. I believe that's due to raise. So we only have to test X amount of years compared to what we were. So they're a increase of approximately $2,900. Questions in regards to that?
In terms of the equipment that we have there, do we plan for having to replace some of that equipment in our budgeting process, or? just wait till,
Basically, the water,
Something
I
comes-
base the water off exactly the way Ray gives it to me.
yeah,
He's the expert on it.
oh, yeah.
He says everything's good. He has been replacing the meters.
No, I know
slowly
that, but
surely.
but there must be some larger equipment that at
Tanks,
some point, will come due. And I was just wondering whether we're planning for that or whether we're just gonna deal with that when it,
Ray does have a slush fund,
okay.
Mm.
so he has
Yeah.
been saving
Mhm.
for those bigger
Mhm, mhm,
projects
mhm.
and to improve some of the water lines. So he does have money saved away. So
Great.
yes. So your answer is yes to your question. Last year's budget was $1,489,000 or $1,489,597.55. This year, $1,519 or $1,519,607.03.
And in terms of the cap, that's well under the
We're
cap.
under.
That's,
We're
yeah,
under.
I like being under.
We're under. We're under. We're well under.
Yeah.
Any other questions on it in regards to that?
I'm-
Bobby? Huh?
I'm good.
Any questions from the public? Go ahead, you can ask, if you have a question?
No, I don't have it.
What was last year's budget, Brian? I missed that.
$1,489,597.55.
That was the appropriation.
That was the,
It was raised with
that
taxes.
was the amount to be raised by taxes.
Right.
Correct.
That's the appropriate, right.
Yep. Correct.
I mean, the grand total is, you know, is the 2,349,234.26.
Correct.
I was just looking at what that.
We have no questions. Can I get a motion to move in executive session, to discuss a few things?
I move that we go to executive session to discuss, I think personnel, is it? or
Yes, correct.
Any other items?
Nothing will be.
And no
decided.
action
I'll second
taken?
that.
Should we move out of executive
Yes.
session? I move that we come out of executive session.
Second that. All in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
and I move that we adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
Oh, yeah, all right.
Can I just make a quick comment? Doesn't have to be on, you know, Cody